I'm looking forward to it, aren't you?
No, Sophie, it's not a speech, just a few simple words of tribute, that's all I intend. And then the unveiling of the mural. Your reply, of course.
I hate making speeches. My talent's with brush and palette, not with a well-judged response.
Yeah, well, just a few words, as formal as possible. I intend to be very brief myself. Shall we, yeah, I always think that, once you...
One moment, please.
Please, not if you have your country's interest at heart. We're being watched.
What?
There's a chap outside with a Leningrad Fine Arts tie on.
May I see your invitation to the reception?
Invitation? You mean you still hold out hopes of an international agreement in spite of the attitude of the Indo-Chinese scroll painters? Harrison's hormone cream will do wonders for those facial blemishes.
That will do. Now, kindly state your business.
But here, with all these people to eavesdrop on our passion...
I really must insist.
It's very clear our love is here to stay. Not for a year, forever and a day. Oh, the Rockies may crumble.
Well, I don't know what to say, Mr. Hunter. Do you think it's good?
Well, naturally, I don't pretend to be an expert myself, but at the recent press showing, one of the critics said it was an achievement.
Oh, well.
Squarely to the right of avant-garde and to the left of ghastly good taste. That's what he said, for what it's worth.
Well, I don't know. I don't understand these sort of pictures.
No, you're not expected to, Mrs. T. Just accept it. Sir Felix Fairchild is a famous artist.
Fancy?
You'll have to learn to like it, Mrs. T. Cost the firm £2,000.
What? This?
Yes. Look, when you stand down there in half an hour's time, pulling aside the curtains to reveal this modern masterpiece in all its splendor...
But what's it supposed to mean?
Oh, well, that's simple. It portrays, well, it shows very clearly...
Well, go on. I'm listening.
Well, it shows the spirit of progress. Man's eternal struggle against ignorance and fear. Well, that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it.
Thank you, sir. You'll have to hurry. Lift to the second floor, straight along the corridor.
Spare tickets for the waiters.
Oh, one moment, please.
Spare tickets for the waiters, cutaways for the guests. Who do I see?
Oh, that'll be the reception. Automatic lift, second floor.
And I'm to take in the red carpet for dry cleaning, all right?
Red carpet. Here! You again!
You'll see to it. Good. And there was something else about changing the spare tire on the grand piano, but I think that was a bit of a leg pull, don't you?
But you can't go in. Jones, Farley! We'll take the Jones. Go up the stairs.
So you see, George Dunwich's feeling was that the world of business owed something to the world of art. He knew that a nation without its painting, its music, was as poor as a nation without adequate financial resources. He knew, to adapt a line of Shakespeare, that artists are the brief chronicles of the time. The men and women who make it their business to record for posterity a picture of life as they have experienced it. And in this sense, we are here today at a moment of history. For surely it is our wish that this work of art that we unveil today should survive us and...
If that lift was abandoned on the first floor, Jones might have caught him coming up the stairs.
That is assuming he was making for the reception in the first place, sir.
Well, what are you talking about? What else would he be making for but the reception?
Well, the accounts, the safe and all that. I mean, if he's a clever crook, just pretending to be a gatecrasher...
Good heavens! Farley, go down to the entrance again. Have everybody on the alert in case he tries to leave. Jones, go and warn them at accounts. Tell them the whole security force is behind them. A clever crook. Oh, my goodness. just my luck. I knew it.
I've got you under my skin. I've got you deep in the heart of me.
The signal honour that I feel. Any artist, any 10 artists in the British Isles could also have been approached. Yes, well, I only hope that I've done you justice. I think that's enough of speech-making for now. I renew my thanks to the late George Dunwich, his group of companies, and all of you here today.
I now call upon our chairman and president, Mrs. Thursday, to unveil the Dunwich House mural. I hope you'll all avail yourselves of the refreshment laid out upon the table. The waiters will be passing amongst you with champagne. I'm sure you would all wish that in the presence of this work of art... Who the devil are you?
It's not having eaten since breakfast. I do apologize.
How dare you?
Breakfast Tuesday. Or did you take it for criticism? Well, if the cat fits. I am here to weep with those who must weep and glower with those who don't dare to. The Philistines have won a mighty victory here today, and as a lone David, I must venture forth. Captain Goliath, I presume.
Get out. Young man, since we don't appear to have had the pleasure...
Not face to face we haven't had the pleasure, no, Sir Felix, but in other ways. Perhaps the name Adrian Tedmarsh means something to you?
Tedmarsh? Tedmarsh? No, I don't think so.
Last year's summer exhibition at the Academy.
Now I begin to see the light, yes. You are an artist, and I projected a canvas of yours, is that right?
No.
You are Tedmarsh.
Never heard of him.
What are you doing here? Who are you?
As far as I'm concerned, there's no such person as Adrian Tedmarsh. It gives you some idea of the present state of British painting, when a man who not only hasn't put in a canvas, but hasn't even been born, can still be rejected by the Academy.
Get out. You've not received an invitation. Leave this instant.
My name is Liston. Alexander Liston. I seldom submit for exhibitions these days. I am of the school of that great contemporary artist, Pantaric.
Pantaric? Oh, my dear young fellow. Picasso, Braque, yes, but Pantaric.
Pantaric speaks in the authentic idiom of the 60s. If Pantaric had been commissioned for a mural here today, you'd have something better than that load of 19th century codswallop.
What's wrong with the mural?
Well, ask yourself for a start. What does it mean?
Yes, that's what I asked myself. I'd know it. Oh, I beg your pardon, Sir Felix. I didn't mean to be rude, but honest, the first time I...
Mrs. Thursday?
Yes?
Bid me to live, and I will live, thy impressionist to be.
Oh, dear.
A lady of taste and discrimination. I should like to paint you in a north light, as Eurydice among the shades.
Now, look here, stop it, young man. You behave yourself.
What for?
Mr. Hunter.
I think you better go home.
No, not until we've unraveled the mystery. Now, come, Sir Felix. The mistress of the mansion has expressed doubt and confusion, too. Tell us, what is the meaning of this outrage?
Well, I shouldn't have thought that the work was all that obscure. No, the imagery is remarkably straightforward, in fact. The painting represents the spirit of progress. Man's eternal struggle against ignorance and fear.
Yes, there he is. Grab him quick. Oh, Mrs. Thursday. Sir Charles, how could I possibly apologize? And to you, of course, Sir Felix. The man is a lunatic. He locked me in a broom cupboard.
Oh, go on. I bet you say that about all the lunatics who lock you in broom cupboards. You were meant for me.
Peasant! No count your onions in your loft!
say his name was?
Liston. Alexander Liston means nothing to me.
Well, he didn't know what the painting meant either, so that makes 2 of us.
3.
No, you knew.
Well, I've got all the stuff you need, Mrs. T.
Oh, well, honey, you know, Mr. Liston reminds me of somebody. Years ago, I used to know a boy wanted to play the clarinet in a jazz band.
Yes. Would you like me to stay behind and help you with these, Mrs. T?
Oh, no. You leave them there and I'll go through them on my own. Yes, he was a nice boy. Wanted to play the clarinet. He played like an angel. He really did. What are you doing there? Oh, my goodness, go away. Go on, go away. Oh! Mr. Hunter! Mr. Hunter, somebody come quick! Oh!
Thanks. About time, too, if I may say so. It's getting cold out there.
Having me on, you weren't dizzy at all. What were you doing out there?
Pulling myself up on a window cleaner's tray. What did it look like?
Well, that's right. Help yourself. Anything else you'd like to look at?
You have a classic bone structure, you know. Shall I paint you now or come back when the shop's closed?
Now, look here. Stop fooling about.
Well, I do want to paint you. Shall I take an oath on it? Swear on the investor's directory?
I think you've got a screw loose. The way you came barging into that reception. What did you want to do that for?
Oh, to make rude noises at an inferior and hypocritical piece of work. That's the duty of every conscientious artist.
You talk as if you swallowed a dictionary. What have you come here for? What do you want?
Money.
Eh?
Yes. I haven't got a bean. By all accounts, you're rolling in it.
Well, I like your cheek.
Oh, not a handout, mine. No luncheon vouchers. I wouldn't touch a directorship.
Well, that's a change anyway.
Now, let's get on with the initial sketch for the painting. Here, you sit down here.
Oh, no, I don't want to be painted. I've got enough snaps at home.
You know, Mrs. Thursday, it really is a bore about that mural, isn't it?
Well, I wouldn't know, I'm sure.
Well, it really is rotten, you know, and it needn't have been.
Well, I didn't ask him to paint it. Mr. Dunrich ordered it before he died.
Head a little more to the right, please. A woman like you has a duty to patronize the arts. You have a right to the best that money can buy, in art as in everything else.
Oh, yes? Such as the things you paint, I shouldn't wonder.
Oh, well, modesty forbids. But if I couldn't actually persuade you to commission me, I could at least put you off old has-beens like Felix Fairchild. I could guide you to people like Panterick.
Who is this Panterick you keep talking about? Who is he?
Who's Panterick, she says. Why, Panterick is the man who finally puts artistic expression into a universe of its own. And it would only cost you $10,000 a year.
What?
To hire me as bespoke artist and advisor. Well, 8, 9. We won't quibble about 1,000 or 2 this way or that.
10,000? You must think I'm crazy.
Oh, it's a drop in the ocean to you. I've got a right to a modest income to keep myself in bread and beer while I get on with my work.
Oh, come in, Mr. Hunter.
Oh, sorry. Now, look here, Van Gogh.
He's just going.
I am.
Yes, dear. I think it's time you went home.
Oh, very well. That's the way you feel. Never let it be said that a listen puts reward before integrity. We'll say this one is on the house.
Oh, no. Here, wait. Come back. Oh, what?
Oh, you're back. Good. I didn't know what time you usually came in, so I told the maid to take the night off.
Mr. Lister, what are you doing in my house?
Well, I decided to forgive your reactionary attitude this afternoon and become your artistic advisor for nothing. Seriously, I'm going to allow you to sponsor my work for my keep and nothing more. I'm moving in.
Oh! Oh! Oh!
Morning.
Morning, Sir Charles.
Mr. Hunter asked me to call on the way to the office. He intimated it was something urgent.
Yes, of course, Sir Charles. Mr. Hunter.
Yes, all right, Edna, I'll see to it.
Now, come along, Hunter. I'm a busy
Just
man.
a moment, Sir Charles. Yes, she's still in her room, I think. We should be all right for 10 minutes or so.
Now, look here.
You wouldn't mind stepping into the drawing room, Sir Charles? And all this has happened in a fortnight.
How, Hunter? Why?
You remember the young chap who gate-crashed the reception at Dunwich House the day the mural was unveiled?
You mean this is all his doing? He's about again?
No, he's a permanent lodger. He's installed.
Installed?
Uses this room because the light's better here, he says. He's preparing for an exhibition. Bound to be a roaring success, he says, because he's convinced his work is the natural succession to that of Panteric.
Who's that devil's Panteric?
I'm glad you asked me that. I don't know, except that he lives on a lake in Switzerland, if that's any help. Point is, Sir Charles, what are we going to do?
What did Mrs. Thurs's medical advisor say? Has she been ordered to rest and refused?
Oh, there's nothing wrong with Mrs. T. Well, not in that way, anyway. No, it's this chap. He could charm the smile off the Mona Lisa.
You mean she believes in what he's doing?
She thinks she does.
So unlike her.
Yes. Oh, with great respect, Sir Charles, I wouldn't like Mrs. Thursday to know what I've said.
No, of course not. No, I'll think this over, Hunter. I'll see what I can do.
Yes, well, I hope something can be done. The place is in chaos, as you see. The fellow takes all the liberties, drinks like a fish. Hate to admit it, Sir Charles, but for the moment, just for the moment, you understand, I don't know what to do.
Well, if you're stumped, Hunter, the situation must be damn serious.
You're the milk in my coffee. You're the lace in my shoe. I'm no gadabout. I'm just mad about. Got a fat about you.
Edna, dear.
Yes, Mrs. Thursday.
Oh, can you remember? Did I wear my best brooch last Tuesday, the day I went to have lunch with those gentlemen from Canada?
The one with the pearls? Yes, I'm sure you did, ma'am.
Well, where is it?
It's not in the jewel case.
I can't find it anywhere. Of course, I may have taken it off at the office. I shan't be late tonight, Edna.
Was Mr. Liston to have the caviar, madam?
What?
Well, there hasn't really been a chance to tell you. A £7 tin of caviar arrived yesterday. He ordered it.
Oh, I see. Well, put it in the fridge, Edna. Oh, and tell Mrs. Trampleasure I'd like a bloater for my tea with some nice brown bread and butter.
Excuse me. I wonder if you could help me. How do I get to see Mrs. Thursday?
Again, miss?
How do I get to see Mrs. Thursday?
Ah, now that's a very interesting question, miss.
Yes, Farley, was something the matter?
No, this young lady just wants to know how to get to see Mrs. Thursday.
Ah, yes, of course. You had an appointment?
No.
Oh. And what was the nature of the business?
Well, it was personal, really.
Personal?
Yes, there was something I wanted from her. Although it's not quite as simple as that, but I'm sure she'd understand.
Yes, well, perhaps you'd care to write, Miss...
Oh, no, not money. You've got it wrong.
I can
You see,
assure
it's
you
quite
your
simple.
request will receive every
But
consideration.
all I wanted to
Thank
ask
you
was-
so much. Good day. Well, really? Do they expect they can just walk in without as much as a by your leave? Oh.
Household accounts, Mrs. T.
Oh, a bit early, aren't you? I don't usually do them till the end of the month.
They're rather high, I'm afraid. I thought you might like a progress check.
Aye. £3.10, charcoal and brushes. Whatever's that?
No, just one of Mr. Liston's items for painting materials. You'll find them all listed lower down under artistic and general.
Grand total, £57.60. Whatever's he spent all that on? That's a lot.
It's a blasted imposition. He's taking you for a ride, Mrs. T.
Oh, well, he's an artist, you see. You can't expect him to behave normal, and he's got to have his chance.
Chance? £57 a throw? Not doing badly, is he?
I know, but he's never had a chance to show what he can do. And he never talks about his past. And I always remember that boy from down our street what wanted to play the clarinet. Freddie Makepeace. Nobody helped him. Everybody laughed at him. In the end, he went into the dye works. And that was the end of him.
The end?
Yes. Hardly touched the clarinet again.
Well, what makes you think this chap Liston's got any genuine talent?
Oh, but I know he has now. I didn't think so in the beginning, but I've changed my mind. And I'd feel guilty if I didn't help him.
Why?
Well, he's got education, you see. I never had. And he doesn't do chocolate box pictures. Like you said, we're not supposed to understand them.
Yes, well, a short spell in a dye works might do him a lot of good. Just take a look at the figure for whiskey. It's up by £25 more.
Oh, I know, it is a lot. I'll have a word with him.
Well, it's not the money, Mrs. T. You know that. It's you. I don't like to see him taking you for a ride.
Well, I'm tough. I'm used to it.
You say you are. But if this fellow's simply putting on an act, then...
Oh, he is. I can see that. But underneath, I think he's straight enough.
Is he? Have you missed this?
My best brooch! Mr. Hunter, where did you find it?
I didn't find it. I recovered it.
Well, then, at least let me speak to her secretary, then.
It's out of the question, I'm afraid.
Her chauffeur.
I told you you'll have to write.
If I said it was a matter of life and death.
Is it?
Well, almost. I mean, it is important, as I wouldn't keep coming back and back like this.
Now, look. We get 20 young women like you in here every day. 21 on a bad day. What is it, money?
Is that all you people think about here?
Now, look, you've tried very hard, so take that, get yourself some coffee, and try to cultivate a new outlook on life.
No,
you can do it without help if you try very hard, you know, and be the better person for it.
You pawned my best brooch. Mr. Hunter saw it in that shop and recognised it. You pinched it and popped it.
I say you couldn't ease the volume back a decibel or two, could you? I've got a bit of a head.
Oh, £25 a month for whiskey. It's wicked, downright wicked. Let alone what it does to your inside. I saw a film once.
Look, I only put it in because I was a bit short of the ready. I would have redeemed it.
You pinched my brooch.
Well, I couldn't ask you for the money outright, could I? Rattle my cup.
I didn't know you were short.
Well, I wasn't. Not spent on things, anyhow. It's just that... Well, the truth is... I'm not secure. I'm not safe unless I've got at least a few pounds. It's because of my childhood, you see.
Your childhood? What was the matter with your childhood? You've never said nothing about it?
Didn't I?
No, I thought you didn't want to talk about it.
Well, if you want to know the truth, it was pretty grim. I was an only child, you see. When I was 2 years old, my father ran away from my mother, and then 3 years later, she died. TB.
Oh, I am sorry.
I was sent to live with an aunt in Bristol. She hated me. Well, not hated. Just wasn't on the same wavelength, that's all. One day, I couldn't have been more than 14 years old. She suddenly rushed into my room, snatched up all the paintings and threw them in the boiler. Art was a waste of time, you see. Better I learned a trade. Oh, as soon as I was able, I ran away from that place.
But how did you keep yourself? Did you find work? Did you do pictures?
Do you know how difficult it is to get started in the art game? I'm still at it. Pantrick is a phenomenon to have achieved his breakthrough. I've crawled, I've worked, I've I've groveled for my art. Just as that chap of yours, that Charlie's what's-his-name, would have done if he'd been worth his salt. You know, the clarinet player.
No, Freddie Makepeace.
Didn't have much stamina, did he? No guts, knuckling down to the dye works just when the going got a bit rough.
You leave him be. Things was harder then. For all we know, he might be dead by now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. You thought a lot of him.
Yes, I did. But not in the way you think. He played the clarionet lovely. Oh, like an angel.
Do I take it you no longer have any faith in my talent?
What?
Just say the word and I'll be off, you know. I'm not accustomed to living off people.
Now, look here, young man. You just listen to me.
No, you listen to me. I don't need you. I can eat and get on with my painting or starve and get on with my painting, but one way or another I'll paint. I don't need you or anybody else. These are my credentials, my works. These are my reasons for living. Without these, I'm nothing. A bit of a thief, a bit of a drunk, now and then a bit of a comedian. I have disastrous personal relationships. Shall I tell you the darkest secret of all? I live like a monk. I've put the idea of marriage clean out of my head, and also that nothing will get in the way of my work. Look, if my pawning your wretched brooch means more to you than all you see here, then chuck me out. But understand first what you do. It's not me you strike at. Do you know what you'll be doing if you choke me off now? Here! There. Forgive the neurosis all over your nice, clean carpet. But either believe in me as I believe in myself, or tell your men to cart all this junk off to the boiler room.
Oh.
You're not going to let him get away with it, surely, Mrs. T. But look here. Oh, very well. No thought of police action over the brooch. Naturally not. Oh, no, Mrs. T, not a word to a soul. And you'll not be back for the rest of the day. I see. Oh, just as you say, Mrs. T. Goodbye.
Well?
Gets worse. They've made it up.
What?
They've gone for a drive somewhere in the country to discuss the future. He may even be given an allowance until the exhibition.
Either he's a born salesman, or she must believe in his work. She couldn't be right, I suppose, could she?
That stuff? Huh. Not in a million years.
His work's ghastly enough to be successful. You know, someone was telling me only today at lunch that there's nothing that appreciates like this modern art stuff, if you get it early and cheap enough. You know, Hunter, it's just an idea, but it might be something you care to come in on. See this distant fellow. If you could persuade him to let me have, say, half a dozen assorted canvases, or whatever's going, at the right price, of course, and then... Oh, bless my soul, the fellow's vanished. Before any mention of commission.
Mrs. T? Listen. Who the devil are you? What are you doing with that?
Taking it?
Oh, my mistake. Don't let me stop you. Why don't you take the lot while you're about it? I brought you a cup of tea.
Thanks. Thank you.
And some brandy.
Thank you. I'm a rotten burglar.
Terrible. In a lifetime spent among the loaded, I've never seen a more bungling attempt. What made you think you could get away with a thing that size? Anyway, why? It's worthless.
Worthless?
Not worth a light, painted by a fellow called Liston.
I know. In fact, that was why I was taking it. I'm his wife.
What?
His wife.
But Mrs. Thursday told me that he'd told her...
That he lived like a monk so as to allow nothing to interfere with his work.
You're practically word perfect.
Well, I should be. A monk, that's rich. He uses some very un-monk-like expressions in front of the children.
Children?
2 girls and a boy.
Congratulations. You know the childhood story.
Oh, yes. His father deserted him when he was only a child. I think his mother died. And he was brought up by a cruel second cousin in Tunbridge Wells.
Aunt in Bristol.
Well, it depends which folio you're using. He ran away and lived a desperate hand-to-mouth existence, sacrificing all for his paintings. Oh.
Is it all lies? Did he make it all up?
Every word. His father and mother live at Uxbridge. Well, he goes there to scrounge a meal when he can't find one anywhere else. And he won a scholarship to art school. That's where we met, in fact, at art school. I had an LCC grant and high principles. Your Mrs. Thursday isn't the first, you know.
What?
Well, I've tried to see Mrs. Thursday half a dozen times to warn her, but they won't let me near her.
Tell me about the others.
Oh, a long line, wealthy widows all. You see, in practically every woman's life, there's a man she's rejected at some time or other. She kicks herself a bit for it, and then in middle age, if an old fire flames up from the embers, well...
Freddie Makepeace.
Hmm?
Oh, nothing. Does Liston support you?
Oh, he wouldn't know how.
Well, then...
Well, I type at home, and my family help out. Oh, if he has a windfall, he always sends me champagne and roses.
You still haven't told me why you wanted to pinch the painting.
Perhaps I just wanted something that was his. Seeing as I don't get roses and champagne very often. What's that?
Well, they don't understand.
Away with the law. Oh, Mr. Hunter. And who's your lady friends?
Oh, my God.
Here. Wait. What's up?
Good evening, Margot, darling.
Hello, Alex.
All right, I'll go if that's the way you feel.
Pack of lies, an orphan with no one to care for you. Oh, I've no patience with a man who can't look after his wife and children.
Goodbye.
Oh, my goodness me.
Does old Margot there look starved?
No, thanks to you, she doesn't. A man who neglects his wife and children
Oh, my
is a mean,
God.
selfish...
Look, why should I be forced to leave a house just because nobody in it has any sense?
Alex.
Bourgeois morality, that's what we're up against. The self-righteous sanctimoniousness of the middle-class mind.
Don't you call me names. I won't have it.
Has anyone ever heard of Gauguin?
Oh?
Gauguin?
Oh, yes. Wasn't he the chap who walked out on his family and went to paint in the South Seas? Judging by the pictures, the nut-brown maidens and all that, he had a very interesting time.
Oh, that man suffered for his art. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Suffered? It was his wife what suffered. Oh, it's a good thing I haven't got you to put up with. I'd knock some sense into that wooden head of yours if my name isn't Alice Thursday.
Oh, you'll never understand.
Oh!
Isn't this where we discuss the divorce, Alex?
I have no intention of discussing a divorce.
Divorce? Oh, I didn't know you was getting a divorce.
Oh, I'm not. But it usually manages to get into the conversation around this point. Alex suddenly declares it's all his fault. And perhaps the solution to the problem would be if I were offered my freedom.
You are the limit. You know he is.
Fine. Bags of sympathy for brave old Margot. Liston remains the feckless, unprincipled heel.
Well, what else? Most men would be proud of a wife like her to take about, instead of pretending he hadn't got one like you.
All right. All right. So I'm a liar as well as a spounger and a petty thief. But can't you see that my paintings will justify everything in the end? Even Margot believes that, don't you, Margot? Oh, come on. Look, I know our marriage has been a bit ropey in the past, but my work's been something we've always agreed on. I'm going to break through. You've always said that. Margot, you believe in me, don't you? Oh, you always have.
Yes, Alex, of course I believe in you. Things like that don't change. It's just... Well, I've put up with a lot. I mean, it's been a long time. You're always going to hold this exhibition. We've got to find out soon what other people think.
Oh, that's right, Edna. Come in, come in. Tea up.
Oh, what's going on? I thought I'd been banished. Suddenly it's tea and muffins and a welcome on the mat.
Oh, muffins. Ages since I had a good muffin. I must get some. Sorry there's none today, dear. Sugar?
No, I don't want any tea.
Oh. Well, now, look, the other night I said I was going to help you, and I mean it. And you said the other night that you'd like to find out what other people thought about your work.
Oh, no, I didn't say that. She did.
Oh, well, whoever said it, I think it's right. You've got to have a good judge, not somebody ordinary like me or anybody, but a real painter, someone who knows what he's talking about and can tell us straight out about your pictures.
Someone who could... What the devil are you talking about?
This Thursday, you haven't invited some dealer here to pass an opinion on Alex.
No.
Well, then who?
Guess.
Oh, for crying out
Go
loud.
on, guess.
Come on.
Oh, all right. Panteric.
Who?
Yes, Panteric, the one you've always been talking about. I sent a cable to Switzerland to ask him to come here and stay a few days with me. And quick as you like, he replied, Bob's your uncle. And Mr. Hunter's down at the airport picking him up now.
Panteric?
Yes.
Panteric is coming here?
Yes.
You did this for Alex?
Well, you said he wanted an expert opinion, and you always said he was the finest.
Nicholas Panteric is coming here to look at my paintings.
Oh, well, I didn't tell him for what reason.
Oh, he's just to sort of stumble on them, as it were.
Yes.
Displayed on the walls.
Yes.
And pass an opinion.
That's right, dear.
What makes you think his opinion is worth a tuppenny damn?
But I heard you say...
That he's a fine painter, yes. He's a great artist, but I never heard of his ability as a critic.
But you always swore by his work. I only meant...
I know what you meant. Now will you please find a cliff and fall over it, or a flood and get swept away? Oh, Margot, what am I going to do?
Panteric! It's Panteric.
Thank you, Edna. Where's Mrs. T?
She's in the drawing room, Mr. Hunter.
Oh, good. If you wouldn't mind stepping this way, Mr. Panteric.
Merci.
This is Mr.
Oh, please, you will not make an introduction en règle. It is too much English formality. And Panteric has already English formality up to his eyeballs. Voyez, to come to England, I had to buy a city suit, no? Madame Thursday. Pardon. Madame Thursday. Enchanté.
I was ever so pleased you were able to accept my invitation, Mr. Panteric.
Why not? I love England. It's so barbaric, it's so unartistic. It gives me inspiration. It's even worse than in America. And I know, believe you me, I live there. 5 o'clock tea, no? With friends? So English.
Mr. Panteric, Mr. and Mrs. Liston.
Madame? Miss... Oh, un moment. You're English?
Yes.
Impossible. You do not wear the city suit. Why? Or perhaps you think you're some stinking artist from Village Greenwich, no? Mon Dieu.
Monsieur Panteric, I'm very sorry,
Please
but I'm obliged to tell you...
Please, wait. I am present with the situation, no? Okay. Kindly allow me to be considering the situation and do not speak until there is no more situation to be speaking of. Who is this wise guy?
Monsieur Panteric.
Madame, if you have been sold these stinkeroos as Panteric, I very much fear you've been sold dead ducks. I shall notify my agents immediately.
But they're not Panterics.
Yeah, they were painted by friends of mine. I think they're very nice, don't you?
Nice?
People in the know think he's got a lot of talent.
Talent? But talent? I see. Oh, you English! You're so subtle, no? For years I am reading the Punch. And I always think that even the advertisings must be jokes. There are so few laughing places, no? And now you want to play the English joke even on Pampari. But who else than Puka Puka English would think to welcome an artist in the land by 4 parodies of his work?
Parodies? What do you mean?
The line is hard when mine is soft. The composition nonsense when mine is full of meaning.
It's not nonsense. What do you mean? Any fool can see that these paintings are entities in themselves. Why, based on your ideas, perhaps.
Please. It is you? What? Who painted them? Yes. Oh, do not look so worried. You don't have to sell them. Madame, if you please, I shall change my city suit.
Change, Mr. Penterin.
It is time to put on drinking clothes. For a good joke as this, one must get fortified, no? You'll be chipping champagne out of the icebox while I'm absent. Bravo, mon ami! Perhaps one day you'll study the art. Serious, no?
Now, look.
Oh, shh. And then you will paint the family outhouse like it was a loggia of Raphael. Where do we go?
Oh! No, don't! Wait!
What for? Another moment of truth? You can keep the rest of the paintings for that clown upstairs.
You wanted an opinion?
What difference does it make? What's his opinion anyway? I was a fool ever to have thought highly of him. He's a clown.
Oh, no, don't feel badly about it. It's something he had to face sooner or later. And it is true, you know. Poor Alex, he really has no real talent. I've known that for a long time, I think. I'm sorry, but I must go after him.
Oh, no, dear, wait up. Oh, Mr. Hunter, what have I done?